Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to our conversation. And I have a panel joining me is Reverend Linda, Cathy Richman, Linda Baker, Susan Jarboe, and I'm Kathy Cronin, and I will be hosting this topic. So let's open in prayer and take a moment to get settled. So let's close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And breathe in the essence and purity of spirit and feel that releasing any stress and anxiety that helps you to get focused into this moment in this time, that you are bringing this time for spirit to speak to you through us. So we ask you, God, for your many blessings. We know that you have joined us here today to enlighten us, to help us to spread your word, to show our purpose and our worthiness to serve you and be a part of you. We bless each and every person that is on this taping, that is here with us today. We send our blessings and prayers out to those in the world who are suffering with hatred and war and anger and illness. We know that we put them into your hands, God, that you will lift them up for their highest good, and that we will bring peace and harmony in our lives through us as we speak thy words. And we thank you and share this time together. Amen. So my topic today is looking for the good. And this was an article in the Unity Booklet, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And it was written by Reverend Alberta Ware, who is a ministerial, is part of the ministerial team at Christ Universal Temple in Chicago, Illinois. And I found this very interesting because it was something that I had just brought into my life when I saw this article. And it was sort of like I put it out there and the universe provided me this writing, and I wanted to share it with others. So part of what Reverend Ware talks about is she starts with, some years ago, I discovered myself in situations asking, how did this happen to me? Why is this person in my life? I even ask other people's opinions. I realized at some point I had to regroup and make some changes. So when things occur that are uncomfortable and concerning, I've learned to ask new questions. The first question is, take on a new design, starting with, what do I want to do about the situation? And do I really want to change its current status? When I look at a new situation and ask myself, what am I supposed to learn from this experience or the person that's involved? Next, I check my consciousness, my current level of expression, because I know what I draw into my life is based on my level of consciousness or awareness. Sometimes when I'm so busy and involved in life that I fail to keep a firm grasp on a clear awareness of my state of consciousness. So this failure allows stuff to creep in and shake up my day or my life. Now I try to stop throughout the day, take a quick assessment of what is going on in my life and in my mind, check my thought flow in order to stay ahead of the stuff. I make a determination of how I really want the situation to be, whether I want to stay in it or leave, how I will accomplish my desire. I've learned that through new thoughts must contain a new pattern for change and resolution. So you have to take this commitment with sincerity and love. Even though this may sound simple, it requires a willingness to do the work and a willingness to stick with the process. Sincerity is needed in the desire for change. If there's no sincerity, there is no change. Love, because it is the harmonizing draw to us only what is good. It heals hurt feelings. It binds us the good that God has already earmarked for us. So if the situation involves a person, try to find something good about them, even as it is as simple as giving them a compliment about something. And if they're not in your presence and you're having difficulty finding something good about them, ask God to reveal it to you. Asking God serves as a reminder that other person is made in the image and likeness of God, same as I am. So these redirection of my thoughts make it easier to see the good, and as a result, I am able to move through or move away from my situation that is uncomfortable. This redirection allows me to see people in a different light. And this I am internally grateful because I continue to look for the good. And the thought process that had been changing in my life that brought this article to me was the fact that sometimes I find myself in situations where I feel like I'm a fish out of water. I feel like I don't belong here. And what am I doing here? And I start putting out all the negativity and the judgments and start wondering about, why did I do this or why am I here? And what I started to do is take a moment and stop and say, okay, God, why did you put this person in my life? Why are they here right now? What is it I am to teach them? Or what is it that I am to learn from them? And the same thing as if I'm in a gathering or a situation or some event and I sort of go, why did I even agree to do this? But, I didn't want to be here. Well, I stop and think, God, you put me here for a reason. Let me find out what the good is. What is it I'm to learn? What is it I'm to give? Why am I to be here? How am I going to grow from this experience? And so I've been asking these questions of myself when I'm feeling uncomfortable on who I'm with or what I'm with or where I am. And it has helped me to just take that moment, step back and say, everything that comes to me is a blessing. God has put it there for a purpose. And it's from that purpose that I will grow and I will find my life to be more fulfilling and fruitful. And I will see the good in what is around me. So I want to open this up to my panel to share situations and how they look for the good in their life. Does anybody want to share? Linda Baker.
Well, I'll tell you, I've had times in my life I've seen other people do this, and I've tried it myself. When you, especially if you come across somebody that you find is irritating or they really upset you, if you have a picture of that person and you put it on your nightstand or somewhere where you go by every day and you can see their picture, and it's just focusing your energy on that person, and you start to make a connection actually, and you can begin to understand first of all how you feel about them, and then you can start, it's almost like it becomes a mirror. You look at them and you start seeing yourself in them, and you realize, am I attracted to this that I don't like because there's really something in myself that I don't like? It is just a way to study it, to delve into it, and try to see in that person the similarity that you have with them. And it's also within your own ether, sending your energy out and changing them, bringing together a oneness, whether it's visible to you or not. It's just surrendering in to that situation. And that's a deep thought. And I really didn't mean to go that deep, but thank you for bringing it up.
Thank you, Linda. So who else would like to share their thoughts on this? Okay, Cathy Richman.
What comes to mind is what the work that I'm doing when you say we're looking for the good. I teach women, and now I'm teaching men that are incarcerated, and you walk into this room and there's 10 guys in there, and they're all in there because they've committed some pretty bad crimes. And I made the choice that I don't want to know what their crimes are. I want to see them as God's child. I want to see them as they were when they were little boys, in that perfection. And when I do that, I don't care. I'm not even thinking about why they're there. And it gives me an opportunity to see the good in them, to see the God in them, and to share that with them when they give their talk. They can talk about, their icebreaker or whatever, and the horrible things that they've done and whatever. And I go back to them and I say, I see the little boy in you. And I actually do. And there again, it's like looking for the good, and that good is there. And life took you in, these other directions, and you ended up where you're at now. But beneath all that, there's so much good. There's so much love. There's so much of God in you. And that's the way I see them. And now that my class is over with, I actually was able to look up at some of their crimes to see, why are they there and what did they do? And I realized afterwards, I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to know that, because I want to see them for the good that I saw them as I worked with them over a period of 2 months. So that's what resonated with me from your talk. So thank you very much for allowing me to reflect on it and make it's personal to me. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Cathy, and thank you for, reaching out to these people and seeing the good and the God within them. It's, you're making changes in their lives by just seeing them for who they are, not for what they did. So thank you for doing that in this world. What a God gift you are to them. So anybody else want to share their thoughts? Susan.
I really enjoyed what you were talking about, look for the good. This was something my mother taught me, and my mother was a Unity person. So I've been trying to do that most of my life. Right now, in this season of my life, I have the good fortune to be surrounded by wonderful people and good people. And so right now, there isn't any one person who is troubling me or bothering me. But I do use one of your suggestions all the time, and that is, what does God want me to get out of this situation? And it doesn't have to be a bad situation. For instance, we went to lunch on Saturday. And before that, I thought, God, I'm going to this lunch with some good people. Anything you want me to do? And so asking what God is looking for in a variety of social situations, I found that very useful. And it isn't because the social situations are bad necessarily. So I appreciate your words, and I was remembering my mother as you spoke. So thank you for bringing this.
Thank you, Susan. I reminding you of your mother is always a nice, those words of wisdom that our mothers taught us. So, it's just to carry them forward. And I do the same thing is that when I'm even in that social setting is sometimes it's like, okay, I'm here for a purpose. What is my purpose? And so, and sometimes it's amazing. You get so much more out of that event than you do otherwise. So thank you. So Reverend Linda, do you want to share?
Sure, I'd be happy to. One of the classes I took in ministerial school was unitive learning and unitive justice. It was the same class. And what this class was about is changing our system of justice, whatever it is, whether it's an argument between two people or some crime has been committed. And the first thing they have you do when a situation arises is have all of the people who were involved or a part of the situation come together in a circle and then share their point of view as to what happened, not as a matter of who to blame, but as a matter of understanding how this situation came into manifestation the way that it did. So I may have a complaint about another person, perhaps they stole money from me, and I can talk about that money and what it meant to me and how I felt when I saw that it was missing. And the person next to me, maybe they saw it happen, and they can talk about being conflicted, knowing me and knowing the person that took the money, and I'm making this up, of course, and how that affected them. So instead of saying, you stole my $20, what we're talking about is what each and every one of us experienced in that situation. And what actually happens is we come to an understanding. And then when the person who took it, maybe they'll talk about, needing medication for somebody and being short on the money and being afraid to ask because they thought they'd be turned down and how much they needed it. So instead of blaming, now we all have an understanding and an opportunity to change the system so it's safe to ask for $20 or whatever the case may be. It's an amazing program, and it's all about joining together in oneness instead of separation. He said, she said, we shared this experience. This is what happened. It doesn't mean whoever is the perpetrator at fault is exonerated, but it does mean we reach an understanding instead of a hatred. So that's what it brought up for me. I really appreciate this topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Linda, and thank you, everyone on the panel. We appreciate your sharing your personal experiences, and for those who are watching, we really like to have your feedback. If you liked what we talked, you can like it, or you can leave your comments on how this topic made a difference in your life, or how it taught you or brought to you some enlightenment, and sharing what's going on for you. We love to hear from you. These are all the comments are read. And we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this, to support us. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button and you'll get notification when a new posting's coming. So if you have any questions, you can always call the church. And if you'd love to be a part of our panel, we're open to having other people come and share their thoughts, that God's putting you there. That we're all coming together to look for the good, and God is putting you into this panel for that purpose. So thank you, everybody, and have a great day, the rest of your day, wherever you may take you. Bye.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments, which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofel-cajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.